racial identity for a couple minutes is okay.
George?
This is a perfect example of how you thought you can trick somebody with your sleight of words. Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I appreciate every last one of you guys all being here. Make sure you follow me on the platforms you see above and the ones you see below. And do not forget to click that Thanos-looking thumb right there. I don't know why I call it Thanos, maybe because it's purple and it's glowing. But when you do that, it keeps my content recommended to you when it comes to this type of commentary, right? Okay? Appreciate it. Last but not least, double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you are feeling new to the channel, make sure you check everything I do out here in its entirety. Just go through my whole channel, different playlists. Make sure you go to playlists on my channel, look at all the different things that I do. Okay? Appreciate you. All right, we have to get on this, folks. I'm going to go through this with you guys because a lot of people, friends, shout out to a lot of you guys. You know who you are. Some of y'all didn't want your names mentioned about Slumpalumphgus trying to entrap somebody with his sleight of words. And it's Byron Donalds, but I'm pretty sure Byron's going to hold it down. But y'all have to watch this with me, okay? If you do not like pausing, this video is not for you because I'm going to pause. But it's still going to be some of you folks that don't listen. They're still going to say, I understand that you pausing, man. We could have just played in its entirety. Go to the MSNBC or whoever this dude is a part of and watch it in its entirety on your own. You don't have to watch it here with me. This is for training purposes for a lot of people that watch my channel that might be want to go down this political stream, that might want to go into politics, people that are my mentees who learn from things that I showed them when it comes to how these folks try to get you with their words. Anyway, nevertheless, let's go ahead and roll right on into this, folks, all right? Here we go.
Just bring in Republican Congressman and Trump ally Byron Donalds. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. Why is former President Trump questioning the Vice President's racial identity?
You heard that? You heard that? Why?
Well, first, George.
President Trump questioning ally Byron Donalds. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. Why is former President Trump questioning the Vice President's racial identity?
Well, first, George, in Chicago, he was responding to a question from, I believe, Rachel Scott. Like, this is really a phony controversy. I don't really care. Most people don't. But if we're going to be accurate, when Kamala Harris went into the United States Senate, it was AP that said she was the first Indian-American United States Senator. It was actually played up a lot when she came into the Senate. Now she's running nationally. Obviously, the campaign has shifted. They're talking much more about her father's heritage and her black identity. It doesn't really matter. The president mentioned it. What he also talks about far more frequently is the fact that Kamala Harris is the person who created this massive inflation, which is destroying black families, white families, Hispanic families. It's her failure as border czar that has left our southern border wide open, more than 10 million illegal immigrants coming into our country, record fentanyl coming into our country, which has killed more Americans than at any other point in the history of our country with respect specifically to fentanyl. And the fact that she and Joe Biden have unleashed one of the worst foreign policies in the history of our country that has us on the verge of World War III. That is Kamala Harris's record. President Trump talks about that frequently, but yes, he did mention it in Chicago in response to a question from Rachel Scott.
Boom. President Trump didn't bring it up. They brought it up. Y'all remember I did a video earlier where I showed you guys, I said, for 3.5 years, nobody talked about Kamala Harris's race until the Dems, until the left, until the left-wing media, until y'all brought it into fruition. You guys are the ones. Kamala Harris, first African-American woman. Wait, y'all got now y'all all on the defensive now because black people are like, time out. A lot of black people are like, what you mean black? When, since when? Well, her dad was born in Jamaica, which means what? Because there are people that's born in Jamaica that are not black. Huh? There are people born in America that are not black. You do know that, right? There are people that are born in America that come from Asian families, be it India or people from China or Japan. There are Middle Easterns that are born here in America. Yes, they might be considered Americans because they were born here and their parents migrated here and all that. But as far as the nationality go and all that, no, they are not white. They are whatever their parents are. If you got an Indian mama, an Indian dad, and you were born in America, you consider to be an American, but you're Indian. Anyway, let's keep this thing rolling, folks. I love that because, again, who's the one that brought it up right now? Snumpalumphicus did.
And you just repeated the slur again. If it doesn't matter, why do you all keep questioning her identity? She's always identified as a black woman. She is biracial.
You see that? He said you just did it again. What do you mean Byron did it again? You brought it up. You asked Byron a question.
She has a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. She's always identified as both. Why are you questioning that?
Well, George, first of all, this is something that's actually a conversation throughout social media right now. There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, 1 second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
I want y'all to look. Y'all notice how he just projected it on the Byron? Byron literally said blah blah blah. Anyway, we talking about what the policy she's doing and what she's doing here. You just did it again. You are the one doing it. You trying to keep him talking about the woman's race when he moved on. Byron moved. Y'all notice how when Byron started off, he said that's something that Rachel asked her. But let me tell you about the policies Kamala Harris has done. Da 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 da. But yeah, at the end, Byron said yeah, but he only answered that question. Trump only answered that question in response to a question that the lady asked him. He moved on. Now again, Byron is going in on her policies, and he's the one keep on saying, look, y'all, this is weird. This is just straight weird.
I want you to answer my question.
George.
You just did it again, Mother. She's always identified as both. Why are you questioning that?
Why are you questioning her race? Watch what Byron does.
Well, George, first of all, this is something that's actually a conversation throughout social media right now. There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not...
Boom. Her race is a side issue, not the main issue. Now, watch what he does. He's going to say something.
The main issue...
Sir, 1 second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
He moved away from it. He moved off of it. What? That's why I told y'all they can have me on their networks. I will completely destroy them with this nonsense.
Let me talk.
I want you to answer my question.
George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer. He talked about it on the stage yesterday in Atlanta for what, 2 minutes? He spent more than 35, 40 minutes going after her record.
Boom.
Talking about how radical of a senator that she was. She was the most liberal senator in the United States, in the United States Senate. That is a fact. He talked about the job that she did as vice president of the
which I don't know what job that was.
United States, a job, I will add, which has been a failure for the American people. I know you guys like to glom on to this that he talks about in jest or in a serious manner for about a minute or so, but what you do not cover is the litany of failures of Kamala Harris. That's what you're not covering, George.
All that talking Byron just got done doing right there, ladies and gentlemen. He's attacking what she did policy-wise. Notice how much even Byron was so strategic with this, and I love it. He spent a little time talking about a race, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, moving on to how much she has failed, which is what they should be focusing on.
So questioning somebody's racial identity for a couple minutes is okay?
He went back to race again. We not, see what I'm saying, y'all? This is what I'm saying. This is what happens when you try to derail the conversation and make it focus on something that is not important. But you are making it. Stephanopoulos is making it an issue. We moved on, dude. We talking about how horrible she's doing. So you telling me her being this is, you talking about her race for 2 minutes is not a bad thing. You telling me, yeah, well, anyway, like I said, she did a horrible job. They don't want to hear that, though.
George, I'm going to tell you again, he brought it up. AP is the one that wrote the headline when she first came in to the United States Senate. Didn't talk about her being black, talked about her being the first Indian American senator. AP brought that up. I mean, George, we could have this conversation for the entire segment, but none of this matters to the American people.
Boom.
What matters to the American people is, are we going to have the same policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has been destructive of the American people? Or are we going to have the policies of the Trump administration, which put America first, had low inflation, prosperous Americans, no matter your race, no matter your color, no matter your creed, and a foreign policy that kept America safe? Those are the facts that truly matter, because this issue is going to come and go. The lives of the American people is what's going to remain, and that's what matters more than anything else.
Beautiful.
If it doesn't matter, I don't understand why you keep on repeating it, why the president keeps on repeating it, why those introducing the president yesterday
George,
keep on
actually,
repeating
I'm
it.
not the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now.
You've done it,
I understand why
sir.
you
You've done
bring
it.
up.
You've done it.
You see what he's doing? This dude just straight projected. Like, did something happen in George's brain to make him think Byron keeps on bringing up this woman's color?
3 times. Every single answer
George,
you gave me. Now let me finish, sir.
George,
Every single answer you
asked
gave, he
me-
repeated
you
the slur.
asked me, George. That's why I'm pushing back on you now. George, you
Right,
asked
and-
me the question 3 times. I responded, but I'm
And every
about
single
what
time you
truly
repeat
matters
the
in this
slur.
country.
That is exactly my point. You simply can't say that it's wrong.
George, so then what you're saying, and I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts.
Uh-oh.
You can
Uh-oh.
go to the internet and look at the clips, George, if you want to.
He won't.
Or we can talk about this now. I prefer to talk about the future of our country, because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do that.
AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is by.
See how slick he is? Look at AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. That's not what he said. He said AP said that Kamala Harris is Indian. This is how deceitful they try to be. But man, that's why I know they can't have individuals like me on there, folks, because they don't want my personality on there. They don't want me to come off like most Americans do. Now, don't get me wrong, Byron is doing his thing. Love Byron. You know, being there, boom, 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 just hitting the back with them, smacking with them, keeping it a copacetic and everything like that. I will be bringing with this energy like, why? What are you doing? George, what are you doing? You're not slick. I know what you're trying to do. It's not working on me.
Biracial. She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's clear you're not going to say that it's wrong. And you've now established that for our audience. Trump also said at the convention that he would
George,
pardon
all I'm saying
January
is
6
warning,
rioters.
everybody look for themselves. Let's move on.
Thank you. Don't like that, do you, George?
I've already said that. Go
Look on the
ahead.
internet, everybody. Let's move on.
There we go. He hurt. He hurt. Got him. Y'all see what I'm talking about? This is what they do. This is what they do. It's one of the most crazy things that just make you think at people like, you always try to be slick with how you try to deceive people. I have somebody that I can ask them a question like, hey, did you just put that cup right there? I didn't call anybody ugly. What are you talking about? He literally just did that. A&P never said that Kamala Harris wasn't black. No, they did not. What they did say is that she's Indian. Nice try. And I'm gonna keep on. I like how Byron know he had him. That's why he's like, let's keep it moving. Moving on. Stephanopoulos didn't like that, did you? This is how slick y'all. They messed up. You guys are the one that brought this. Notice that you are the one that keep on bringing up the race thing. You keep on talking about Kamala Harris. Why did President Trump come in and say this? Because he was asked a question. And President Trump said, I've known her a long time. I've known Kamala a long time. And I've always known her as being Indian. And as of late, she identified, I guess she's turned black. Now she's black. She's black. Yeah. He's so wrong for saying that. We didn't know either. Well, Kamala, look, guys, 3.5 years, I'm telling you. When they said Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, I knew Kamala Harris was biracial, multiracial, or something. But one thing that never crossed my mind is that Kamala Harris is black. When some of y'all come up with those dumb stuff in the world, she came out of HBCU. She pledged AKA. Do you know how many white people went to HBCUs? And do you know how many white people pledged AKA? White people? So I guess that means they're black too? She was born, y'all, look how racist that even sound. She was born, her dad was born in Jamaica. So you just assume that everybody in Jamaica is black? And that their ethnic background is African American? Look to see what Kamala Harris' dad identified as. Look what he did. See what he identifies as. Well, Kamala Harris, her grandma was a black woman. Y'all just keep on trying. Kamala Harris is not black. We don't need to focus on that. I'm going to tell you why, because all it does, it keeps our attention on just arguing about the fact whether this woman is black, white, blah, blah. Who cares? Point is, we saying that she not. Let's move on. Now let's talk about how horrible she is. Well, we don't want to spend no time on that. We just want to figure out, don't you think that Trump is racist and you should be denouncing what he said about? No, we want to say we saying what Trump is saying about Kamala Harris in regards to her policy and how she destroyed and helped destroy this country is what we should be focused on. But they don't want to do that, because then there has to be something in there called accountability, which we know a lot of them don't want to have. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this by leaving the comments below. Do not forget to do this right here. Like, comment, and I always say this all the time. Please, 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 folks. I know y'all forget. Get into those cell phones. If there's anybody in your contact list in your cell phone that you know would love this channel, don't keep it from them. You guys will be the reason why this will spread. Please, please, please make sure you let somebody know. Hey, it's this channel called Modern Renaissance Man. Go subscribe to it. You're welcome. Yeah, no, for real. I would be very grateful and humble if y'all would do that, okay? Appreciate you. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.